Attracting top foreign talents in China has been an ongoing discussion over the past few years. And China has been talking about tearing down these barriers for attracting foreign talents since 2007. So why particularly raising this issue up again? Is there a particular need that China needs to speed up this process, Mr. Cohen?
Probably from the government side, Mr. Wang could address it better. But I don't know if there's really a need to speed it up at this point or not. I'm not sure that's the best question.
But so, Mr. Wang, what do you think?
Well, I think so. Actually, for the China, for the last opened up since early 80s. For the last 35, 37 years, China has actually gone an enormous transformation. So in the past, we're labor intensive, where population dividend has been really well used. But that actually dividend is really drying up. I mean, or if not, stopped increase. So we have to turn into talent dividend. And for the talent dividend, we cannot just rely on the domestic talent. So since Parties Congress, several reporting a row all emphasized we need to attract not only talent from China, but also around the world. President Xi Jinping has emphasized many times we should utilize and attract the talents from all over the world. Right. So I think that's probably for the China to really shift its gear into more knowledge and innovative economy. You have to really use a lot of talent and rely on.
So China's really getting hard to get into the game of innovation and trying to build this high-tech intensive workforce. And this is a figure from the government. China said it has attracted some 3 million foreign experts in the last 5 years, from 2011 to 2015. But Mr. Cohen, what do you think should be an ideal makeup of workforce? What number should China aim for?
Right. Well, if you look at those numbers of 3 million, there's a majority made up of Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwanese. Then you've got South Koreans, you've got Americans, and then you've got people from Egypt and Pakistan and other areas. So there's some nice diversity there. If you look at Huawei, their formula is 5% of their employees in China are expatriates or foreigners. So I think that's a great company, and if we're going to put a label or a percentage on it, let's go for 5%.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that the percentage is really low. If you're talking about international population in China, is actually less than 0.06%, lowest in the world. The world average is 2.3%. The OECD countries is about 10%, and developing countries is about on average is about 1.6%. So China is the lowest in the world. And then you talk about 3 million in the last 5 years. A lot of them are short-term, short-term comps. So if you're really talking about long-term, I mean, the numbers is much lower. So I think, we need really to attract more. And the time has come. China has become such an attractive place now. I mean, particularly for the career development and also for a lot of technology and high-level talents.
Earlier this month, China also announced that it will ease rules for foreign talents who work in Zhongguancun, that's China's Silicon Valley, ease rules for them to get a green card here in China. But also there are critics saying that, the access are restricted to these high-level, high-tech foreign talents. I mean, should it be expanded to other sectors, to lower level talents?
You're right. Move? I think we should be lower. Actually, my think tank, the Center for China and Globalization, CCG, is involved on this policy recommendation. We send our team working in Zhongguancun for the last several months now. It's working out the details to be announced.
So they specifically chose industry, much needed industries.
Exactly.
Like
I think now they started with the technological knowledge firms, with high-tech firms, with the venture firms, but eventually we will expand. So for example, now if you are overseas Chinese, if you got a PhD now, you can apply a green card immediately if you have a foreign nationality. And then even for the other people who have no PhD, but if you work in a Zhongguancun company for 4 years, and then you are eligible for apply that too, even in for the rest of Beijing. So I think that actually the policy is relaxing now, and then that's really give a lot of hope for.
I would say on the term lower level, I don't think people who are in the humanities are lower level than the people who are in science and technology.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, I mean, I've been in China for more than 25 years, and probably I can't qualify to get a green card even, and I won't go.
Now you can.
Now I can.
Now you can.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Right.
the policy really has geared for the people like that. It's also they eliminate some of the age limits as well.
So the question in my mind is, well, why do we want the diversity? Because if everyone's an engineer, they're only going to come up with solutions that are very engineering or economist based. But if they come from humanities or law or the arts, then they'll probably come up with creative and newer and different ways of coming to the solution. When they were in the Cavendish Institute in Cambridge, when they were trying to split the atom, Lord Rutherford every Friday night would sit down with five winners of the Nobel Prize, and they were asked the question to each other, the Nobel Prize winners, why are we so stupid that we don't know, we can't figure out how to split the atom? And it was this diversity that created those solutions.
Okay, let's talk about the unofficial barriers that many foreign experts who came to China might face, like cultural differences, language barriers, or their kids' education if they do have a kids, or management style differences, right?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, I was in Shanghai the day before yesterday, and I was actually doing a research just on this project, on particular topic. I was interviewing some expert from Shanghai University and also professor from foreign expert from Tongji University as well, from Fudan. And then they talked about there's two professors talk about their kids in China. There's one lady, foreign expert from France. So she said she really wants her kids to study in China, but then she cannot afford to go to a very expensive expatriate school, and then there's no other school, Chinese school, and now taking them. So if they are already regarded as a foreign expert in China, and their children probably should be allowed to get into the Chinese school, and learning some Chinese is not a bad thing. So I think also maybe another solution for the university to have enough kids, then they may set up their own foreign schools for the foreign expatriate teachers. So I think that probably one of the key areas that maybe next we should address too.
So you've talked to lots of foreign experts who work in China or wants to work in China. What do they complain the most, and what are the things that they are looking for the most?
Well, one thing they complained about is of course, this children's education is one of the big concerns for them. Another thing I think they really want is, they said they really want to be integrated with the Chinese system. For example, they are not really happy if they are treated separately. They will be put in a different building, dining at a different dining hall, and they felt that, for example, the foreign student come to China, they live at the friendship building or something, but they actually they want to mingle with the Chinese student. Mm-hmm. For the Chinese student go abroad, they want to homestay, they want to learn English, and then vice versa. So I think this is a lot of concern about that.
Right, and Mr. Cohen, you've been here for over 25 years. From personal experience, I mean, you probably just did fine now, but when you first came to China, did you experience the so-called cultural shock?
Well, when I came to China, I think I experienced the culture shock that even Chinese people would experience, because I lived in Nanchang in Jiangxi, and so that was really a culture shock. But it's a learning curve, and young people who come here, they actually love the experience and they want to be here, and the things they don't like are very much the same things that the Chinese people don't like. The pollution, the transportation, the ducha, the traffic jams. But the foreigners are not all one type. Some are working for multinationals with good salaries. Some are working for Chinese private companies with good salaries. Some are working for SMEs and entrepreneurial ventures. So there's a variety of needs and a variety of opportunities and a variety of salary levels, and they come with their kids. I think most of the foreigners want their children to be, that aren't working for multinationals or embassies, want their kids to, as Mr. Wang was saying, be involved in local schools and have access. And the kids learn so quickly that it doesn't matter what school they go to. And so this immersion into the culture is really important. And it's good for the Chinese kids to have foreign kids in the local school. and gives them an opportunity to learn diversity at an early age. So, that's one of the barriers that I think the government shouldn't be afraid to allow foreigners in Chinese mix in international schools and in local schools.
Right, and for those foreign expats already living in China, what's a good way to retain them here in the country? Because, for big cities like Beijing, air pollution has become such a big problem that it's made difficult to retain some of the foreign experts who are already in the country.
Yeah,
how can the government
well,
help?
I think they're right. I mean, of course, Beijing is a special case, and with this air pollution, but that's is also government is paying a lot of attention now and trying to resolve that. But I think in general, probably we should really knocking down the talent movement barriers. Like we knocked down the trade movement barriers. China is the biggest traders now. So I think there are several things we can do. For example, like this 5 years working visa. Instead of renew year by year or one by one, we should have 5 years multiple entry visas. Now we have a 10-year multiple entry visa for several countries like U.S. and Canada. But
Right.
second, and also we should really have a system that you can apply Chinese green card, Chinese work permit, Chinese green card, and even Chinese citizenship. So that kind of expectation should be allowed. And thirdly, I think we should open up for the foreign student coming to China, and then allow them to work in China for the best of the student, and then provide them opportunities. And then finally, I think we should really create a more friendly environment for foreign talents to come here and to live and also address some of those environmental issues
Right.
that we're talking about.
And some say that the government has put too much emphasis on the provision of money, housing, such material benefits, but they neglect the aspect such as entrepreneurial environment and research system, things like that. Do you feel the same way?
I think it's really up to the individual who comes to China and wherever they're working, whether it's a university working unit or an economic enterprise unit, not for the government to have to be all things to all people, but for the companies and the individuals to take direction for their own lives and their own corporate direction. They should just be asking, well, what's my objective? What's the objective of the corporation, and how do I fit in and tie in and add value to that specific organization or school? The regulations now are that if you want to work in China, you have to be over 18, have a bachelor's degree, and 5 years work experience. Well, I don't know anyone who's 18 that has the other two criteria.
That is going to change now.
That's going to
the
change.
new rule actually starting in Zhongguancun from March 31st is that for the foreign student, they can have an intern visa now.
Okay.
And then for people who work in China, they don't have to, foreign student doesn't have to have 2-year experience now. They can start to have an internship working visa and then start gradually to build up their working experience.
Well,
So
that's
that's
a good
good. So
start.
we're
Yeah.
seeing progress. We're seeing change.
That's right.
Do you think that China's talent plan will work? I mean, where will it lead China to?
Well, I think go back a little bit on the question you raised just now. I think instead of also in addition to the environment that we are trying to create, but I think it's also we should have really critical mass and magnitude of that. So if all foreigners come to China feel lonely, I mean there's not many people like that, and they probably will feel. For example, I think China should probably, one of the advice I heard from our investigation roundtable in Shanghai was that maybe we should start a Chinese visiting scholar program. Instead of all Chinese going to the foreign university for a visiting scholar program, we should attract a lot of foreign scholars come to China, have a China visiting scholar program for foreigners. So that maybe should be a good one. And also we should also open the Chinese postdoc positions to foreign doctoral candidates as well. So that we can attract more foreigners to China. And then also we should really have this, China should set up an immigration bureau. All the countries have an immigration bureau. Now China doesn't have that. So on March 1st, Zhongguancun will have its first PR, green card application center now. That newly approved by the Ministry of Security. So that's good sign, but we still need to do more.